Good morning. Thank you for joining with us at our assembly this morning, the Kilkenny College Assembly, for Wednesday the 20th of May. This morning it's a pleasure that we have Bishop Micheal here with us, and Bishop Micheal is going to be announcing the winners of the Bishop's Medal Senior Essay Prizes for the 2020 school year. I'd like to thank Bishop Micheal for organising the Bishop's Medal Essay Competition once again, and for making the time to be here with us this morning. In a moment we'll have the opportunity to join together in this morning's hymn. Our hymn today is Hail the Day That Sees Him Rise. But before our hymn, as is our custom, I'd invite everybody who's joining with us in our assembly to join together in a moment of prayer or reflection, and ask that we bow our heads as we remember the events of the week past and the week as we look to the week to come. God of creation and God of life, we place ourselves and our world in your protection and love. God of wisdom, we ask you to guide our leaders in healthcare and government, that they may make the right decisions for the well-being of all people. May your peace be with us and enfold us today, tomorrow, and during the days ahead. We ask this in your name. Amen. So now I'd like to ask Mr. Tida to lead us in this morning's hymn, Hail the Day That Sees Him Rise. Thank you, Mr. Tita, for our hymn. Now I'm going to go through our announcements for this morning. These are our announcements for Wednesday, the 20th of May. First of all, we'd like to say well done to everybody in 1st, 2nd, 4th and 5th form who over the course of the last 2 school weeks have been doing their summer assessments for 2020. Thank you to all of my colleagues who've organised the assessments for members of those years, and well done to each and every member of 1st year, 2nd year, 4th year and 5th year who has committed themselves to doing and coming through the assessments for the summer term. Classes continue on through until the final day of the school year, the 29th of May, which is Friday of next week. And for members of 5th form in particular, now is an opportunity to get your head in the game, make sure that you're aware of what it is you need to be focusing on during the summer, planning that you can do, getting some work done on practicals if you're doing practical subjects, getting some starter work done on special studies in those subjects that have special studies, and making sure that when you come back at the start of the next school year, you're going to be ready to take on the challenge of 6th year from the very first day. That's where we're going to be, and that's where we need you as the incoming 6th years to be. And talking about the next school year, I'm also pleased to be able to say that we have commenced the planning process for the school being ready to reopen as soon as the Department of Education and Skills gives schools across the country permission to reopen. There's detailed information being sent out to parents and guardians of the school today, but we are working hard already to make sure that our school is ready to reopen both as a boarding and a day school as soon as the Department of Education and Skills announces that it's safe for schools to do so. And we want to ensure that our school is going to be a campus that is COVID-19 secure, that we're going to be able to ensure that people are safe, healthy and well all of the time and every day when they're back in school on the campus in Kilkenny College. It's where we all want to be. It's where everybody who's a student wants to be. It's where myself and all of my colleagues want to be. But we need to put in the time, and we are putting in the time over the course of the current weeks to make sure that as soon as the school is able to be reopened, we will be able to do so on a safe, healthy, secure, COVID-19 prepared basis. And we look forward to that day coming as soon as possible. Other days that we look forward to coming are over the course of this week, because we have a bundle of people yet again who are going to be celebrating birthdays. So this morning we say congratulations to Charlie and to Cameron and Dean and Matthew and Ruth and Charlie and Gavin and Gemma and Robin and Dara and Adam and Katie and Gerald. And wish each of you a very, very happy birthday. Lovely weather at the moment. Great time to be having a birthday. So congratulations and celebrations to each of you. Our assembly this morning is going to conclude with a brief video that's been put together by some very enthusiastic members of the Tractor Run committee. Unfortunately, the Tractor Run was one of the events we couldn't hold this year. So we do have a short video to show Tractor Run memories for all of those Tractor Run enthusiasts out there, and there are many, many of you. So hope you'll watch the video at the end of assembly today. A couple of things for 6th years, just a reminder about the CAO Change of Mind form, and that runs through until the 1st of July. A reminder also that you can contact Mr. Stafford at his Kilkenny College email address if there's anything you'd like to talk to him about or seek career guidance information in relation to your course requirements. Finally, to say to members of 6th form, we've got 2 final important events. Next Wednesday is the final assembly of the year. That's taking place on the 27th of April. And that is being put together by members of 6th form, along with Ms. Cudahy, their year head, and some of my colleagues. And next week's final assembly of the year will be led by members of 6th form. And while it's the 6th form final assembly, it's not their graduation ceremony. We are committed in the college to ensuring that we are able to hold a final, formal, celebratory 6th form class of 2020 graduation ceremony as soon as it is feasible for us to do so. It may be that that's in August, it might be in early September, but as soon as it is and whenever it is, we hope that we will be able to bring back all of the members of the class of Sixth Form 2020 and your families so that we can celebrate with you and share with you a final and a formal celebratory graduation. So final assembly next week and a graduation at a date to come, either probably in August or early September. So those are all of our announcements for today. So now, as I said at the start, we're very fortunate this morning that we have Bishop Micheal joining us to announce the winners of this year's Bishop's Medal Senior Essay Prize. This is a competition that's run in schools across the diocese, that's organised by Canon Harvey and led and moderated by Bishop Micheal. And we're very, very grateful to Bishop Micheal for the time that he gives to this competition and the opportunity he gives to so many creative writers across the diocese who are in second level schools. So it's a pleasure to hand over to Bishop Micheal.
Good morning. It's very good to have been invited to join you in this particular way before the end of the school year, and to assure you of my thoughts and good wishes for all the times that lie ahead. I find it extraordinary to think that the last time I was in your midst was on Ash Wednesday. It was the 26th of February. We were talking about the coming leap day. And on that day, we shared the Eucharist, Holy Communion. We shared the peace. We were crammed together in the sports hall. Many of us shared the common cup of the Eucharist, and it all seemed so convivial, even at the beginning of Lent. And who could have thought what lay ahead? And as one looks back to those days, one thinks to oneself, well, the past was a different world indeed. And what, to use that cliched phrase, normal people then is so different from the new normal of what normal people are required to do now. So congratulations to you all on your resilience, both students and staff, through these times. And were things more normal, I'd have been here this week, because tomorrow is Ascension Day, like Ash Wednesday, one of the major occasions in the Christian year, and I'd normally have come in around Ascension Day to offer a thought that would be relevant to it. And of course, one of the things Ascension is really about is how it celebrates the completion, the glorious completion of the earthly work and ministry of Jesus Christ. At Christmas, we only mark the beginning. Ascension to me is much more important because it's about celebrating completion and seeing things through and getting it gloriously done. And any of us can start things, but seeing them through is another matter. And Ascension is always a challenge to, like Christ, when you take something on, that you stick with it and you finish it creatively and well and to the best of your ability, because good completion is so important. But it's strange to say that in these times, because I know that this particular school year for everybody, and particularly for those moving on to other levels of education or doing state examinations, has seemed so incomplete in terms of normal expectations, frustratingly and confusingly so. And one's thoughts are especially with those who thought that their school career would culminate in the Leaving Certificate. It now isn't going to happen. Their futures are in the hands of a new process. Those involved in that process, like the students themselves, need our prayers. But look, this is just a moment to assure you that on the feast in the Christian year, when we think of Christ's completion of his work, there has to be so much empathy with those whose sense of completion this year has been so frustrated. And we just hope it won't impede their progress or diminish their joy, and in the long view of things, that somehow all manner of things will be well. Just before I finish, before I complete, one of the things I always talk about when I do come in at this time of the year is those who did complete a particular project I oversee well. In other words, those from the senior cycle who entered the Senior Bishop's Medal competition and who completed their essays. They had to do it online this year, and who made themselves available for some, I hope, valuable prizes, not just in this school, but in other schools throughout the diocese. The Bishop's Medal competition is about writing an essay on a choice of subjects about current affairs in church and society. Some of them seem, it was done some weeks ago, rather dated now, for example, in relation to themes in the general election back in February. But I'm very grateful to all who participated. I think it's a worthwhile exercise and helps people to engage in a focused and creative way with the issues in society and in spirituality that are around them. I can't give prizes to everybody. In fact, the first prize and the medal this year, I have to admit, went to students who entered from another school, but I do have a second and a third prize to award, and I'll just make a few comments about those and congratulate the winners and thank everybody who took part. The prize winners in both the cases of entrance from Kilkenny College were people who wrote short stories. And the short story was to begin with the words, "At the plane in Dublin, I wanted to escape the beliefs and traditions which I felt had suffocated my youth." And that led to a very great number of short stories of high quality. I was aided in judging them by the Reverend Trevor Sargent from Waterford. Some will know that he was a past Green Party leader, TD and minister, so very well acquainted with issues in society and politics in general. But with his help, I came to the conclusion that the third prize should be awarded to Susie Lawler and the second prize should be awarded to Josh Tracy. And let me just quote a sentence or two about what the adjudicator said about the prize winners, because I think they're inspiring and important. Of Susie, he said, "This was a very gripping short story of starting a new life in New York as a male journalist, having left Ireland as a woman, sensitive treatment of highly personal decisions. This story kept the reader engaged by an empathetic narrative and unexpected turns of events." And regarding the second prize, Josh Tracy, these were the words, "A passionately told short story about travelling to Uganda to attend a Christian missionary school. The style is strong and full of what could be called African candour. The phrase God is love is given depth and meaning in this work." So congratulations to the participants and the winners. There is always to be so much to be learned, not least about oneself, through such creative writing, and I hope people will continue to engage in future years. Meanwhile, thank you for this opportunity of speaking. I wish you all well for the summer and for future times, whatever they may hold. And remember, despite the frustrations and the circumstances, for we can't control the future, in the spirit of ascension, we should always be of the view, when you take on something, always aim to finish it well and to finish it triumphantly and to the best of your ability. Well done on that intention, and have, in all the circumstances, a good summer.
Thank you, Bishop. And now Reverend Alex is going to say a few words and lead us in prayer. Reverend Alex.
Thank you, Bishop, for your lovely and encouraging words today. And as you can see, I'm out in my own garden today, sitting in the sunshine and sharing a little bit of nature with you. And congratulations to all of the participants and the winners in the Senior Bishop's Medal competition, especially to Josh and Susie. Well done to both of you, but well done to all who partook in it. And by all accounts, it sounds like when you started something that you definitely finished it, and finished it wonderfully. So you deserve a lot of credit for that. I'd like to share a little reflection on nature. And there's my wife sitting over there. If she knew that I was shooting her. But she's nature too. So the stars light up the night sky and remind me that I'm not alone. The wind gently holds me. The trees listen and support me in silence and in strength. The birds sing my worries away. The sunshine and the darkness. The sunshine removes all the darkness and gives me warmth. In nature, I am accepted just as I am. Nature is God's gift to us, and it helps us to be truly and wonderfully ourselves. So I pray today that you will be nurtured and supported by nature, and that you will find all of the blessings and resources in God's gifts to you. May you be blessed. May you be at peace and feel warmth, support, love, and light in all things. May God bless you this day and always. Amen.
Next week's assembly is going to be our final assembly of the school year, and this year the final assembly is going to be led by members of the outgoing sixth form. It's been wonderful to see a number of people who've given forward their name to Miss Cudahy and who are working with Miss Cudahy and Miss Bill to bring together the sixth year final assembly for our final assembly of the year next Wednesday. As we know, there are so many things that we have missed during the course of this term due to the coronavirus pandemic. One of the events that we haven't been able to run this term has been the tractor run. So we're going to conclude our assembly this morning by playing out with a tractor run video, and we look forward to seeing you at our assembly next Wednesday. Thank you for being here today. The very, very best to each and every one of you for the week ahead, and we'll see you next Wednesday for the final assembly of the year and the sixth year farewell.